Alright, so I am about to review each track individually for Joey Badass. Let's get it. Here we go. Okay, so track number one, "Good Morning America." I actually really liked this track. I like the really whimsical, soothing, chilled out vibe from the instrumental here. Definitely relaxing instrumental, which is interesting because the way that he's spitting, he's sort of talking about you know uh, people being awake, and people not being awake. For example, he's got this line: "Some of us woke while some stay snooze. Zombies walking around tripping over issues. The knowledge is official, but it is often misused." So I think he's rapping from the mind state that he sort of feels awake despite the fact, and free, or questioning the nature of freedom, especially with the line, "The coppers still shoot us down" on Channel 5 News. I'm sure he's definitely got some kind of Trayvon Martin situations up in his mind that he's speaking to, and maybe just speaking to, racism in America, period, really. And kind of speaking to people who may be walking through life sort of not really paying attention, not being awake, I suppose. So that definitely seems to be some big themes of this track here. Freedom, or what does it mean to be free? Uh, Being oppressed as a black man, in America, I suppose, and you know, wakefulness. And I definitely like the outro here. "I came from a dream that black man dreamed long ago. I'm actually a present sent to you by your ancestors." It's interesting. Almost as if Joey feels a sense of entitlement with his current position to say something important, or speak to important themes, which he definitely attempts on this track here. But interesting, interesting. I like this track. Let's go to track number two. I definitely like this track. It almost borders. He's trying to push out so much positivity that it's almost a little bit cheesy, but I dig it though. I dig it. I really like the really peaceful flickering synth harmonizing in the background, and the bass line on this bitch. This is you ever like been around some subs or some big ass speakers, and like when the bass line came on, it's like you could barely like you could barely feel yourself breathing, or if you tried to talk, it's like a rib cage is rattling. This is one of those bass lines. The fucking thing was fat, son. Anyway, but a big telling sign of the heart of this track, what he's trying to say here, is music. Music is a form of expression. I'm gonna use mine just to teach you a lesson. Rule one: this microphone's a weapon. I'm shooting out the actions manifested and my passion. And particularly when he says here, not to mention that they had a cell blocked ever since an adolescent. Kind of sounds like he's speaking from the mindset that the black man in this world, or in America, is we're kind of born, or maybe he's just talking just as people, maybe not even as black people. We're kind of born into a world that is extraordinarily dangerous and lethal, and there's just like traps and misfortune all over the fucking place, and it's so easy to fail. And I feel like similar to the first track, he's feeling this sense of he's really made it somewhere in his artistry, and he feels that it's important to preach positivity through his music. At least that's what I'm gathering for two the first two tracks here, trying to preach the mindset of be at peace, and there's no reason to not. How should I say this? He's really just saying that we just have to stay alive and keep going and stay peaceful. Um, and I guess he kind of hopes that other people will follow him. Don't turn to a gun, maybe turn to a microphone type of mentality. Instead of trying to be locked up, why don't you turn to art like him and be where he's at? Seems to kind of be the mentality that he's trying to push out. But a good track, good track. Let's get to, don't love this track or the first one, but I like them. Let's get to track number 3. Jesus Christ, is it just me or from like the guitar and the way the beat is designed? I almost feel like this could be a church song. Like you can literally, I can see myself in like some Baptist or some Christian church, whatever. I can see myself at a church service and this came on. I'm serious. It's like hip hop gospel music or something. Anyway, I like this track. He's really laying on thick, concepts of positivity, which is understandable. Especially when he's got a line here. I really came up from the bottom, struggling. My mama on her last dollar, hustling, and I've been putting in these hours. Oh, excuse me, and particularly some people enslaved by their religion can't emancipate them from the mental prisons, which is what he seems to be trying to do to his listeners. So it's almost as if, like, not only does this sound like a hip hop version of gospel music, but it almost sounds like he designed this song and this music so far for people who are really going through a struggle or really feeling oppressed. But yeah, like this track as well. Definitely not bad. Track number 4, Land of the Free. This is my first favorite off this bad boy. This track is it's pretty great. It's pretty great. I really dig this one. A lot of the mentality here and messages on this track are similar to what's come previously. However, I just want to, well, because of that, I just want to speak to certain lyrics on here. First off, I like the jab that he threw at Donald Trump, that put a little grin on my face. And Donald Trump is not equipped to take this country over. And however, there was one line that he spoke that was actually really fucking deep. And it's something that I think about often when he says, sometimes I speak and I feel like it ain't my words, like I'm just a vessel channeling inside this universe. I feel my ancestors unrested inside of me. It's like they want me to shoot my chance in changing society. God damn. that was a dope line. Sometimes I do wonder if like is there some part of like my ancestors like in me in some way, shape, or form, DNA wise, genetics, whatever the fuck, that's made me think a certain way or made me move my footsteps a little one way. He definitely takes some jabs at racism as well, concepts kind of like still got the last names of our slave owners, which that's a heavy line. Or trickery in the system, put my niggas in prison. God damn. Put opiates in syringes, then inject his religion. Fuck. That's he's talking about some heavy shit, he's talking about some really heavy shit about oh man, again, the taking jabs at the concept of slavery or oppression of black men, particularly on this track. And seriously, from my God, from 3 minutes and 3 seconds and onwards, the track just becomes gorgeous. The bass line flares up, and the outro where it almost sounds like maybe children vocals delaying or something like that. Like the outro is really just very almost spooky sounding. It's very haunting in a sense, with all the vocal harmonies, the way that they bleed out. during the outro. But yeah, this is definitely my first favorite. This one is a pretty straight to the point one, especially with words like "I used to feel so devastated. At times I thought we'd never make it. Now we on our way. All that ever took was patience." That basically kind of sums up this whole track. He went through some hard times, but god damn it, he prevailed. Turn up, you know what I'm saying? However, the instrumental here makes me feel like I should be on the back of a yacht, you know, with 16 empty Corona bottles next to me, staring at the sun. It's very, that's the kind of vibes. I'm getting like some spring weather vibes, you know, sandy beach, sun shining, vibes from the instrumental here. And I really liked his delivery and flow with I put my cadence, or no, I put my pain on the cadence, turn my brain up a wavelength. Now we're flowing and sailing, so just go with the feeling, baby, soak up the vibe. Yeah, just that whole riff right there. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, not crazy about the track. You know, I like it. It's fun. You know, feel gooder. Is it actually called "Why You Don't Love Me, Miss America"? I believe. Oh, it is, which is ironic because especially with the outro. Okay, you red, white, and blue. Now you know good, Miss America. How you like this shit, huh? And then particularly at the start when he's asking these questions, you know, tell me why you don't love me, why you always misjudge me, so on and so forth. I feel like in my mind, maybe this is just my interpretation. By the way, this whole review, every review I do is just my interpretation, okay? But I felt like as if Joey Badass was sitting in a room and sitting across from him was a physical embodiment of America, and he was just like talking to America, literally, conceptually, you know. Which that's just a hell of a trippy thought. Maybe he didn't mean for the track to be that deep, but that's what I imagine. Also, I really love the first 30 seconds of this track. It almost sounds like something that Kendrick would have jumped on, you know what I mean? I really love the production here with the guitar and the just those crisp snare hits, you know, just real groovy shit, you know. Really fucking with the instrumental on this one. But yeah, that's kind of what I took away from the track. Very interesting. This is a a nigga said an immediate favorite. I really enjoyed this track. This track was pretty fantastic. Personally, I feel like the sole purpose of this track was just to find a gothic, just nasty, dark sounding beat. The kind of beat you should hear playing at a fucking graveyard somewhere. And with these kind of paranoid, tension filled moments listen to the sound of the instrumental when Joey Badass is saying, "We don't give a fuck, never had one to give, never will forget, probably never will forgive." Like there's just like this heightened tension in the instrumental. I really like the instrumental on here with the slow beat. But yeah, this is just them spitting clever bars over spooky sounding beats. However, the winner here lyrically is ScHoolboy Q. As soon as he said, "I'm part of the reason they still crimping out in Brooklyn," and you kind of hear like a what of like a police siren, I think, for a moment, or at least you start to hear like sirens and gunshots and shit while he's spitting. I was like, God damn! And particularly when this motherfucker said, ScHoolboy Q, he goes from getting lynched in field into owning buildings, getting millions, influencing white children, and oddly, we still ain't even. Still a small percentage of blacks that's eating, same routines, the same dope fiends. Good God, he was just painting some serious imagery. I was like, holy shit, them nightmare dreams, forever murder season. Good God. But particularly when he said from getting lynched in fields to owning buildings, like that is just profound way of putting how far some blacks have come. Holy shit, or just blacks in general. Good God. But anyways, yeah, as you can tell, I really like this track. It was definitely a good track. However, I feel like Michi Darko should have had more. He should have had like a full-blown verse with him just ripping shit apart. I didn't really like the fact that he's just on there for a squeeze, talking about Ocean's 47, and then he's on the outro, and then bam, he's just gone. I was like, what? However, when he said big metal thing, you get Captain America, I feel like Joey Badass should have fucking rocked some Captain America influence in terms of like the album art. You know what I'm saying? He should have dressed his ass in some Captain America costume, thugging and shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, now it's just thinking about Joey dressed as Captain America. What the hell was the point I was about to make? Oh yeah, but I think Michi Darko should have been on. He should have had something more to spit. Dude's voice is just so dope on the mic, so kind of disappointed there. But this track is very similar to the last one. It's just like, let's get some dope people together, spit some sick shit over a really dope beat. The instrumental on this thing was great, especially with the outro, with the record scratching and just the thundering drums coming in. The heavy reverb on that shit. And by the way, real G's move in silence like my designer. That was a huge nostalgic flashback from the lasagna line from Lil Wayne on what was that, Bigfoot, 9 Foot, whatever the fuck that track was called with Lil Wayne, with the Inception music video. And the instrumental here, and particularly when I think it was Nick Caution and Kirk Knight, when they came in, or just when Nick Caution and Kirk Knight, like during that moment, during that verse, the third verse, it kind of reminded me of some kind of just that verse with the instrumental kind of reminded me of like some Foreign Beggars oldies style rhyme spitting and instrumental, you know. Shout out to Foreign Beggars, fan of them. But anyways, I like the track, just not in love with it. This was a nice, slick, smooth, good track, you know. I enjoyed it. What did I just say? I enjoyed it. That's what I meant to say. And this track really could be summed up by this line here from Joey Badass. Man, I've been heating up, my self-esteem been on the moon. The flow is hotter than volcanic craters near the equator. You know, he's feeling a bit brash. You know, he's feeling confident. You know, and just shooting shit. With what, Styles P. And I think it is just Styles P. But you know, they're both just this sounds like something you would play if Joey Badass ever did like MTV style Cribs video. This is probably one of the tracks they'll be playing. You know, it's probably a sunny day out, slow-mo shots of his cars and clothes and shit. This is probably one of the tracks that would be playing. But anyways, I like the track. It was chill, you know. Just kind of flexing, really. Nothing too special about this track. I like it. Nothing bad. Holy shit, this was a really great track. This might potentially be a favorite of mine. I think this will be a favorite of mine. I really enjoyed this track. I really love the catchy lyrics to the finger snaps towards the outro here. You better start running. Babylon boy, them coming. Man, that's some good stuff right there. I love just the stomping beat on here, and just that was that a nice beautiful sax playing there in the background. Good God, it sounded fantastic. But verse number 2 might be my favorite verse from Joey Badass on this project. particularly when he was like, who you think invests in penitentiaries, though? Same owners as some labels, same owners as, or same owners of your cable, spoon feeding you fables, trying to keep your mind stable. I mean, goddamn, he was just going. What else? Rest in peace to Eric Garner. Only right I show respect. 50 years later, still see my brothers choked to death. Man, he was just going the fuck in. Just painting so many images, throwing so many concepts at you. How are we supposed to see stars? Chemtrails or chemical trails above us. Yo, um, goddamn, that made me think about certain pollution in some places heavily, and he was just going the fuck in on verse number 2. God damn. So yeah, I really like this track, and not only that, but I feel like verse number 2, him referring to his nickname and destroying out all these concepts and these thought provoking images. I thought that verse 2 is such a on this record is such a perfect embodiment of his character, that he's been trying to articulate throughout this record this whole time. But yeah, really fuck heavy with the verse number 2. Really enjoyed it, and a good track. I think it's gonna be a favorite of mine. But now it's on to track 11. A track that I like, not that I love, but it's definitely I'm definitely digging the really peaceful, head nod worthy instrumental here. And what's interesting about this track lyrically with Joey and J. Cole is that I feel like they approached this track with the mentality of let's speak on things that are weighing heavy on our minds. And J. Cole even has a lyric where he says, "Find a way, the weight of my wealth. It's honestly a lot to bear." Or, how much does a man need? How much can he hoard before his greed? How can a rich father teach humbleness to his seed? And Joey Badass, where's the line where he says, just waiting for you to fail. A special room in the jail with your name, a number on it. So you property now. I see it properly now. It's what the poverty about. Almost as if he's almost talking to America again, so to speak. But yeah, that's kind of what I took away from this track. Them sort of speaking on things that are, been really plaguing their thoughts and in a heavy sense, a somber sense, I suppose. You know how Drake at the end of his mixtapes or the end of his albums, he always ends off on Drake. He'll end off on a track where it's just him just spin just this monologue of bars. This is a very similar situation here where it's almost like Joey realized it was going to be the last track, and he was just like, "Oh, I have an idea. Bars, 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 bars." Particularly like the verse 3, Jesus Christ, what the government is doing amongst our people is downright evil, disturbing, but not surprising, that's for certain. With all the conflict of propaganda, I believe they are simply trying to start a civil war within the USA amongst black people, or black and white and those alike. Holy shit, he is just throwing out all kinds of thought-provoking concepts into the listener's ears. I can dig it though. I like it. It's a lot to mentally chew on. Some very conscious raps here and throughout this whole entire record. I think what else caught my attention. One thing that I thought really underpins this track here is sorry, white America, I'm about to black out. Got a message for the world. I won't back out. Watch out, another nigga running in the White House, but I won't stop till this whole shit painted in all black. That's something I feel like that almost sums up this whole album in a sense. I'm out for dead presidents to represent me because I've never known a live one that represent me. He wants to see a reality where I guess blacks are more in places that they're usually not, and as far as the president line goes, it almost sounds like he would. I wonder if he would like the concept of like Kanye West being president. I'm not saying I would, for the record, but I wonder if that's something that he would fuck with. But anyway, but yeah, it sounds like he's speaking on the concept he wants to see blacks in positions, more so than not, that they're not in. And speaking of Kanye, him talking about. With the first $1 trillion company was run by a black person or by me, what if there was a black Elon Musk? Why isn't there one? Why isn't there a black Ralph Lauren, or is there one? If there's not, why? It sounds like Joey Badass is starting to speak towards those concepts throughout this track and throughout this album, and I really I like this album. I like this album. I think it's a good album. I just don't. I can't say that this is. A lot of this music sounds like church music in a way. Not exactly the biggest fan of church music. Sometimes it works for me. I know one of Chance the Rapper's recent projects was very gospel music influence for sure, with hip hop sensibilities, and I really like that. But on I guess I like the album. I do think it's good. I like that he's trying to throw out so many concepts for people to chew on that are thought provoking and a bit disturbing. Talking about politics, talking about racism. Oppression of black people. Or just people in general. He's throwing out some tough concepts in his lyrics that I like, but he's also kind of trying to preach positivity as well, which is really cool as well. He's not just simply talking about asses shaking for like 30 bars, so I do appreciate that. And or just like talking about sipping lean or something like that for 12 tracks, popping Molly. So it's he's not talking about those kind of things, so that's cool. But I guess I would say that the instrumental is nearing great on parts, but it's not like the instrumentation is not like, okay, like for example, when I heard DNA from Kendrick Lamar the other day, I think my pants almost flew off. Okay, so there's no instrumentals like that. There's no bars that are like as biting or as mind blowing as you might hear from an Earl Sweatshirt or an Eminem or Kendrick, so on and so forth. But it is good. I just would hesitate to say that the album is great for me personally. I don't know that this is an album that I would repeat listen to again and again and again and again and again. But I do genuinely think it's good. Again, my favorite tracks would be track number 4, Land of the Free. ROCKABYE Baby with ScHoolboy Q. That was definitely a favorite. And Babylon, track number 10, that was a favorite as well. And actually, I think I'm going to have to say that track number 7, ROCKABYE Baby, featuring ScHoolboy Q, I think that's probably my favorite track. I think lyrically he was probably at his best with Babylon, for me personally, anyway. Um, and yeah, I think ROCKABYE Baby would be my favorite track. That track was awesome. But hey, yeah, so I'm feeling a 7 out of 10 for this album. But hey, what you think about this bad boy? Let me know your thoughts down below, and if you enjoyed this review, definitely make sure to smash that like button and subscribe as well. In fact, in the lower right hand corner of the screen, Very soon, you should see a little circular button. You can tap that to instantaneously subscribe. And I'm out. You dirty bitch, you.